Many seek the path to victory, but only one can stand glorious over all. At the old world's heart stands the Empire. Karl Franz must prove worthy of the Warhammer.
Hello and welcome to another Total War Warhammer guide. Today we're going to be looking at the shock heavy cavalry for the Empire army. We're going to be looking at the Empire Knights and the upgraded version, the Reiksguard. Now they're very similar with some subtle differences and we'll talk through the differences. Let's have a look at the old Empire Knights. The models do look amazing this year. There's still not quite enough variation for my liking, but they do look pretty spectacular. And they look like they're ready to go. So these are the Empire Knights. As I said, they're heavily armoured knights. They're shock troops. They are for just countercharging, flanking and crushing enemy lines. Basically, so let's have a look at the actual stats. So they're armoured and shielded. So the armour stops anything but armour piercing weapons to do damage, and also shielded, which helps against missile attacks. They're also anti-infantry, so as you'd expect, these guys are perfect for running down big blocks of infantry. We'll go through the sort of do's and don'ts of the Empire Knights shortly. So 100 armor, they're 4,000 hit points, 100 armor, 70 leadership, so massively heavily armored. Really good leadership, really good speed, do a decent amount of damage, and a 46 charge bonus is pretty hefty. So now let's look at the differences between them and their slightly bigger brothers, the Reiksguard. So these are the elite knights. So once you've done that for a few years and you've survived battles and done well, you have the chance of being promoted into the Reiksguard. So these are the elitist of elite guys, and in the game they're only slightly upgraded, I suppose, much like the tabletop game. Just for FYI, I played Warhammer Fantasy for about 15 years. I've spent about 10 grand on figures. Jesus, kill me now. So they've got the same armoured and shielded anti-infantry as you'd expect. So their armour, they've got 20 more armour, which is really, really nice. That's the biggest difference. And then there are only slight differences. So 6 more melee attack, 2 more defence. Their weapon strength is 10 more, so that's pretty good. And they've got a better charge. So they're basically a slightly upgraded version, but there's no real difference in the way you'd use these guys. So let's have a look at them in a battle now. So we'll put them on here. So as you'll know, if you've watched the videos, I fight against the same two poor units every time. But if you look at them, they are pole-armed men-at-arms, which is actually a very good defense against armoured knights. So these are the units you don't want to be using these against, unless you can get them in the flank or the rear. Basically, because pole-arms are so long, they sort of help negate the charge bonuses that the cavalry get, which is a big part of what the cavalry do. And they also have armour piercing because they're such big, hefty weapons. But we're going to charge in like maniacs anyway, so let's get going. Let's just stick them there, just so we can see the charge, if nothing else. So the sort of units you want to go after, like I said, you can go after these guys, but make sure they're a counter charge. So get them stuck in with some of your units, like your swordsman or something like that, and then flank charge or rear charge these polearm guys to break them. And you want to be kind of in and out of combat. You don't want to be tangled in the middle with knights. Their charge is their biggest strength. So you want to be just firing them in, then trying to break a unit, move on to the next one, break a unit. Obviously, they also struggle against spearmen a little bit, just because obviously their spearmen are built for taking down cavalry. But let's just recklessly charge. There we go. They do look good. They do look very good. That's quite a scary thing coming towards you. Alright, hello, sirs. Yeah, you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Doosh! And boosh! So as you see, we do a lot of damage there. As you can see, the number dropping down there. 4 already dead on that side. 9 already dead on that side. If we were to leave these just in combat, so the green bar is their health of the unit, and this grey bar is the morale. So we're currently winning. We've done more damage. Morale is fine. So this is a pretty even fight. If we just let this go on, this is a pretty even fight. And considering how much cheaper these guys are, then that's a massive win for the enemy. Obviously, they've got their hero there, which is providing a morale boost as well and stuff like that. So you don't really want to get these bogged down. Like I said, you want to go hunting, counter-charging. You can also use these units to sort of hunt down artillery, maybe a unit of Empire Knights just to hunt down some artillery. It's a little bit heavy-handed. You could probably do it with a more cheaper unit. But as you can see, the morale is now dropping. They're clogged down against these guys. It's going to be a close battle, but like I said, for the cost of the units, this is a massive win for the enemy. So, you know, you really want to be sort of getting these out of combat and counter-charging. Obviously, we're going to take a hit with a bit of damage there. So, if we look at the damage caused, it's not far off being even. So, we're going to run away like girls. Make it, run away, run away. So that's how to use the Empire, or how not to use the Empire Knights. They're going to be a mainstay on the forces. If you consider a big battle line, maybe you have them on the flanks just to counter anything or whip round the side. You don't really want them sitting in the middle, bogged down in combat. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to go and check out all the other unit guides we're doing, I'm going through the whole of the game, every single unit, and then we're going to move on to sort of more advanced tactics and playthroughs. So please subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.